Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to Sportscast Northeast Sports. Bradley Young here is your host. Alongside me is Paul Wilson. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening there, Paul. And how are you doing this evening? You doing great this evening?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yourself?
Great stuff. Yeah, not too bad. And then down the bottom we have our Huddersfield Farm TV guest. Yet again, another appearance for him. Good evening, Ryan.
Good evening. How are you doing? Good to be on, and thank you for having me. Yeah.
I'm doing great, yeah. So, we're going to be obviously Huddersfield's game against Stevenage. Obviously, getting into that. Sunderland's defeat to Burnley 2-0. We're going to be getting into that as well. Very poor defeat to lose away from home. Tell you what we'll do is we'll let the guests go first. Ryan, what was your thoughts on Saturday's game against Stevenage? Were you there?
Yeah, I was. Obviously I was there. I was got a season ticket for town, so yeah, no, I was there. Look, obviously we expected a hard game going into it. Obviously Stevenage, they'd won all the games, haven't they, before we played them, and we expected a difficult task. Yeah, we had to be patient for sure. We had to work hard for the victory, and I'm just glad it was one of those games where I felt like we struggled a little bit in the first half. Second half, we upped it a little bit when the subs came on. Subs made a big impact, and yeah, we managed to get the goal. And obviously, it was a well taken goal from Alfie May, of course, who is just been a fantastic signing for us over the summer. One of many fantastic signings, and look, it was really good to get another win for us. And something you can't play well every week, can you? Sometimes you have to grind those results out, and that's what we did ultimately. And we didn't expect it to be easy, so very happy with the 3 points. And we move on to this game now in the cup.
Interesting. Obviously, that is 4 clean sheets in 5 games, which is absolutely impressive. Getting off to a brilliant start. Obviously, as well, Alfie May, we're going to get into him. Do you think he's going to be the main man this season for you? Do you think he's going to be the star of the show this season for you?
Yeah, we certainly hope so. Obviously, the last time he was at this level, obviously, banged in like 20. I think it was 27 goals for Charlton when he was last in League One. Look, he's a goal scorer ultimately, and I think he's the main man. But obviously, we have got the likes of Joe Taylor, who obviously is another one that signed for big money back in January too. Obviously May coming in over the summer. So I expect him to be we need him to get 20+ goals for us this season, May, and obviously Taylor, we can get close to that as well. Be good, but I have full faith in Alfie May. I think he's a brilliant player. He's just such an intelligent footballer. You know what I mean? His movement, and when he gets a chance, he's going to score it. That's what you want your striker to do, of course. And you know what I mean. And just sometimes creating the chances for us has been a big problem, and that's the only thing that I see holding him back a little bit. But if we create chances for him, then he will score the goals for us. So.
And do you feel that this team's harder to beat than last year's side, Ryan?
Absolutely, mate. This team is night and day to what we had last season. Last season we had a bunch of players that didn't want to be at the club, couldn't care less if they won or lost, and couldn't. They were just not a group of players that we could get behind fully, if that makes sense, because there were just too many bad eggs in there, really, in the dressing room. And this season, over the summer, we've recruited very well. Obviously, Lee Grant coming in as well as the manager. We've recruited the right characters, the right personalities, the leaders, and players that want to come here, want to play for us first and foremost, but they want to help the team, towards our goals, and also improve as players themselves, improve individually themselves as well. And you want hungry, ambitious players in the dressing room, don't you? You don't want players that are just happy to pick up a wage and not really bothered about anything. So, look, there's no comparison to last season's mess. We released a lot of players over the summer as well, which was thankful for. And we've just had a proper rebuild. Because, like I said, we've signed 13 players and, got rid of a lot of players as well. So the squad is completely, barring a few, the squad is completely different. And look at the difference it's made so far this season for us. I know it's early on, but we've got what I've said this season. We've got a squad that we can be proud of now. Last season, I couldn't be proud of that group. They were so, they were just a dislikable group. There really was. They wouldn't show any pride. They wouldn't work hard. They wouldn't be bothered about winning games. They were just happy to coast along. Anyway, that's my thoughts.
Cool. Obviously, I know you were mentioning about Lee Grant before, obviously being manager. Obviously on Saturday over 16,000 at the John Smiths as well. And how much are the supporters buying into Lee Grant's project right now?
Can you just repeat that? Sorry, you cut out. Sorry, I couldn't hear the question. Sorry.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry, mate. Yeah, you just cut out the final bit. Sorry.
So over 16,000 at the John Smiths, right? And how much are the supporters buying into Lee Grant's project right now?
Yeah, it's the Aku Stadium now, by the way. We've changed names, but yeah. Look, Lee Grant has been fantastic since he's come in. You know what I mean? And I feel like we can very much relate to him. I feel like his principles are great, fit the values of the club as well. And, he's still learning. He's still a new coach, obviously. New role for him, isn't it, really? Obviously, he's not been in a role like this before, but he learned under previous managers like Kieran McKenna, who, of course, is a top manager. And obviously then, was at previous clubs before as well. Obviously, they learned a bit under at Man United when he was coming to the end of his retirement. He was doing more coaching at United, to be fair. So, look, he's learned, he's bided his time, and now we've given him the opportunity. And it was a big call to bring him in, to be fair, but we'd gone through the experienced route of bringing in a manager, and that didn't work. Like your Michael Duffs, who for me was a disaster appointment last season. He was an awful manager for us. This guy is so refreshing. He's communicating. His communication is transparent. He's open with us as fans. He's a great communicator. So with you can tell the group know what's expected. Everything is just aligned this summer for us, and there's a lot more feel-good factor back positivity, and Lee Grant is part of that because basically he's really chosen all these players because obviously we've not got a sporting director in now after getting rid of him, thankfully. The failed sporting director I called him previously, absolutely 2 years of utter failure. The recruitment in Mark Cartwright was shocking for us, but. Yeah, so Lee Grant showed all of his players. He's brought, and he's brought in characters that really will help us moving forwards. Like I said, the leaders, winners, winning mentality. He's had to change the culture at this football club. So the culture has been shocking for ages now. The culture is now, well, obviously still early days, but the culture is really turned over the summer and very good pre-season and into the start of the season. We're just going to keep getting that better culture at the club, and I think he's just done wonders so far. But ultimately, it's a results-based business, and we need him. We need to keep getting results, and ultimately, it'll be judged by where we are at the end of the season. That's where it'll be judged.
Yeah, pretty much as well. Be honest with us. After 12 points from 5 games, are your fans whispering already about promotion? Do you reckon?
Well, before the season started, we expect to be up there because ultimately we were supposed to be up there last season and we failed miserably. But yeah, of course, going into the season, I think everybody felt, with the recruitment as well, we've got a really good chance of getting automatic promotion. Not just promotion, but automatic. And I still think we're missing a few. We could do 1 or 2 more before the window closes next week. But we're very, very happy with what we've got now. And like I said, yeah, promotion has to be the aim for this club. We can't linger in League One for too long. we've seen this story before, where League One's a tough league to get out of, isn't it? You know, the round that's the and.
Mate, we've been in League One for 5-6 years, I think it was, and we were terrible getting out of it.
It's so hard to get out of, and I think if you don't go up in your first season, you just get, if you get relegated and you don't go up in that first season, it gets more and more difficult. But you're still opportunity in the second season. Yeah. I just hope that we're not lingering down in League One for ages, because we don't deserve to be. We don't belong in League One. We should be higher, and and. It's just been the off-the-field decisions that have cost us ultimately over the past couple of years, which has ultimately got us down to League One in the first place. That's how I see it. So, yeah.
Lastly, before we do move on to Sunderland's defeat at Burnley, obviously let's talk about one good player here, Lyndon Gooch. What's your thoughts about him? Obviously, we were talking about it before the stream started, but what's your thoughts now to tell everyone?
Honestly, mate, I absolutely love Gooch. Absolutely brilliant player. Honestly, as a fan base, we have taken to him so good. We love him already. I just think the way he he gets up and down that wing, doesn't he, and causes a lot of problems for defence so far. I think he's been a relevant, really top player, and just the way he conducts himself, and such a professional on and off the field as well, isn't he? And yeah, look, I love him. The town fan base love him, and we're very, very lucky to have him. And hopefully, he can help us achieve our goals this season.
Right. Yeah. Anyways, let's move on now to obviously Sunderland's defeat at Burnley. Obviously, 2-0 defeat at Sunderland. Paul. Obviously, straight after full time, what was your gut reaction to that performance at the floor?
To be honest with you, I wasn't happy. I was not happy whatsoever. I know a lot of people has actually come out and said, the club should actually give the money back to the supporters. To be honest, I disagree with.
I do as well.
Because I hate to say this, but those fans that travelled down to Turf Moor, there was not helping that team whatsoever.
Nope.
Sad to on that, Burnley fans were sinning more than our supporters, which I was really surprised.
Yeah.
But I think we just actually got it wrong.
Also, Paul, did you feel about Sunderland? Did you feel Sunderland were ever really in the game, or was it just a case of hanging on from the start? Do you think Sunderland were really in the game?
No, not really, Brad. To be honest, I was pleased the referee actually waved their first goal off, because that first goal actually went to VAR.
It did,
so
yeah.
I was pleased that was waved off. But the thing is, why on earth? Because me and Lee even noticed, Burnley actually brought on 7 subs in the game. There's only 5 allowed in the Premier League. Why did they bring on 7?
I've seen that as well. I think there's a lot of cheating going on already, and to be honest, I don't know. I really don't. Anyways, well, let's move on to obviously missed chances. Obviously that big one from the end of the first 3 minutes in. Obviously, I think Talby kicked it up to Barrow, then Barrow knocked it down. Then obviously Mayenda was 1-on-1, but Dubravka saves it. Do you think that moment changes the whole game if it went in?
Yeah, well, for me, Mayenda should have scored that. There was another one we missed first half. I think it was.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what player it was, but we missed another one in the first half, Brad. If only them 2 went in, I actually think we would have beat them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the same. Totally. Obviously, this league, you've got to take your chances, because, to be honest, if you don't take your chances when you're probably be in a relegation fight by the end of the season, if you don't take your chances much. This is what I've been telling a lot of people. Obviously, we'll be up there for a relegation scrap, I reckon, but I think we'll just snitch it by a tip. I think we'll probably just steal.
Well, what I couldn't get, why did you put Enzo Lefebvre as a winner in the second half? Enzo Lefebvre is not a winner.
That's the problem. He's not a winner. He should be playing in the number 10 role.
He should have
That's
been.
why he should be playing. Yeah, that's where he plays for 10. He doesn't play left wing. He doesn't play right wing. That's Roberts' job. That's Talby's job and Adringer's job to do, not Enzo Lefebvre's. He's more like a cam role. He's more like an engineer of a 10 or an 8. Not like it doesn't make sense to me, to be honest. It doesn't really make sense. Why he did that. But anyways, finishing the biggest. Go on, Paul. What were you saying?
I just thought Ballard's okay. I know.
Yeah.
Our assistant managers come out today and said Ballard was actually sent for scans today. So I actually hope it's not. I hope he's not out long term.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyways, let's talk about Burnley's goals from their point of view. Let's talk about the first goal. So I think it was Jaden Anthony flicked it, when I think Josh Cullen slots it past Roofs just after half time. I think it was the first one or 2 minutes after half time that happened. And obviously, from your perspective, was that poor defender or was that just quality play from Burnley? Did Burnley just outplay us second half?
I actually think that was poor defending from us. Because mainly actually shouted at Jensen Sealed. He actually was just stood. Actually just letting the ball just go past him.
Yeah. And to be honest, I'm saying this now. I don't think Sealt's good enough for the Premier League. I really, really don't. I don't know if anyone else agrees with me on that one, but I don't think Jensen Sealt's really good enough for Premier League standard. I'm sorry.
That's why I think Regis actually wants a couple of more players before the window shuts next week.
He's trying to look at that Bologna striker, isn't he? John Lukumi. If I'm right. Or Lucini.
Yeah, we are.
Trying to look at that. Then obviously, as well, the second goal, we're looking at the second goal, obviously Cullen's ball to Anthony, and obviously Anthony rounded Roofs as well. Obviously, did that make you feel like the game was over right there after the second ball went in?
Yes, but the thing is, though, I'm not blaming Roofs. So, this is his second game in the Premier League.
It's not Roofs' fault. It's not.
Yeah, this is his second time actually in the Premier League.
Yeah,
he'll get on better, but let's hope, because I know he won't be playing tomorrow, but let's hope Ruth actually gets better on Saturday against Brentford.
Yeah. Obviously, as well, talk about individual players now. Obviously, who stood out for you in red and white, if anyone? I think Trey Hume worked very hard, but was there anyone else, Paul? What do you think?
Probably for me, somebody in midfield. I'm going to go with Granit Xhaka.
Granit Xhaka again. To be honest, he's a major threat, I reckon, from the midfield. Obviously, as well, you did mention about Ballard coming off with a knock. How big is that a worry? How big is that a worry for you, Paul? Obviously, Ballard coming off with a knock.
To be honest, that is a massive worry for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it'd be interesting what we do if Ballard is out for a long time. Because I know the transfer window shuts next Monday at 7 o'clock. Well, either 5 or 7 o'clock, but we need to get somebody in. But the assistant manager came out today and said we'll find out by the end of today if Ballard is okay.
Is that Lucinho Vacano who done it?
Yeah, he done the press conference.
Thought so. Obviously, last question before we move on to the bigger picture. What do you think about Zach? What do you think about Xhaka and Diarra in midfield? Do you think they're a pairing that works, Paul? Was Sticky up there as well?
Yeah, I think they'll work on well. I think they'll work really well, Brad. To be honest.
I agree. Totally. Looking at the bigger picture now, Scott Parker has called it a humongous win for Burnley, while Reggie Scabrisa said it was a reality check for Sunderland. Do you agree by that? Do you agree by them statements?
With Regis, yes.
And obviously, as well, is this just a blip against a stronger side, or are there any more deeper concerns, Paul? What you think?
To be honest, I think this is just a blip. Yeah, because on Saturday we need the, we need the stadium of light like it was against West Ham. The supporters, the supporters actually behind the team, which they will anyway. But we need them supporters in voice.
Yeah. And how important is it, Paul, for Sunderland to bounce back straight away in the Carabao Cup against Huddersfield?
To be honest, the assistant manager actually said that he's expecting the team actually, because he wouldn't give any hints on the team, but he's actually hoping that the team he puts out, well, the team Regis puts out, they're actually hoping that this team actually puts us through to the next round. But we shall find out tomorrow.
Right then, yeah. Right, let's get back with obviously Sunderland versus Huddersfield now. Obviously previewing the Carabao Cup. Tuesday night under the lights at the Stadium of Light, Cup football, Paul, as well. What does this tie mean to Sunderland right now?
That's a tough one, Brad, because I think
it is.
I think with us, I think Regis will probably want to concentrate on the Premier League, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does want another cup run. It gives players a chance. That's not actually been playing in the Premier League. Yeah, it gives them a chance. The likes of Dan Neil, Patterson, etc. It gives them a chance to show Regis that they're up for the Premier League.
Yeah, totally agree with you on that one. And Ryan, for Huddersfield, you're flying in the league as well, obviously, like I mentioned before. Is this cup game a bonus, or do you think you'll take it seriously as a league fixture?
It's a bit of a tricky one for me as well, because obviously the league is the priority for us as well. We want to get promoted ultimately. That's what we want.
Yeah.
But the way I see it is that I still want a little cup run as well. You know what I mean? It'd be nice, and that's how I see it. We are going to take this game seriously. That's how I see it, definitely, because we went into that game against Leicester in round one at our stadium, and we took it seriously. I mean, we did rotate a lot, but we had a team because of our squad depth now and the quality of the squad that we've got. We actually do have the quality to compete, even if we do make a lot of changes. We still are able to do the job, you know what I mean? And we still are able to bring off those players that are regulars in the first team in the league, onto the pitch if we need them as well. So, we're taking this seriously. There's no question about that, and we want to have another cup upset. We want to pull one off again, and yes, but we'll see.
Yeah. Back to Paul again. For former momentum subject. Sunderland are coming off that tough 2-0 defeat, Paul, like I mentioned to Burnley just before, Paul. How much pressure is on Regis Debris to get a reaction from this?
To be honest, for me, Regis is under no pressure.
No.
The first thing is, Brad, I've seen fans actually calling for his head to be sacked.
You are joking.
I am like, no.
Wow.
I actually wouldn't get rid of Regis Debris.
Whoever's saying that is absolutely delusional. That is absolutely crackers, whoever's saying that. you're beating West Ham on opening day 3-0, then you get beat by Burnley 2-0. I think it was just a blip myself. I don't think it was any major concern. I think it was just a little blip, like we all do. All teams go off on a little blip now and again, don't they? Anyways, Ryan, Huddersfield are unbeaten in the league since the opening day, like I mentioned before here as well. Clean sheets galore. Do you think you'll carry that momentum on the Tuesday?
Well, we certainly hope so. You know what I mean? Probably will be a change in goalkeeper again, which we've used Nichols in the League Cup. So I think we'll put another goalkeeper. Obviously, Goodman's our number one. He's coming from Crystal Palace on loan, so he's our number one this season. But yeah, Nichols is a good keeper. So yeah, look, we want to have another clean sheet because I think I've always said if you can keep that clean sheet, if you can keep solid at the back, it gives you every chance to win a game. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And you solid at the back, it gives you that foundation to go on to win the match. So, yeah, we want to do, but we're under no illusions that it's going to be tough against Sunderland, and that's the reality. But we have to just go. We can't be tentative at the back. We need to just show our confidence and be strong. But we're gonna be under it, but I'm sure the lads are up for the challenge.
Yeah. Obviously as well, both sides are in very different moods after Saturday. Who do you think that benefits more going into this, Paul?
Oh,
That's a question.
that is actually a tough one to actually answer, to be honest.
I've made all these questions up, by the way, so I've just
I can tell. To be honest, going into this, I think it's actually better for Huddersfield, to be honest.
Yeah, from their point of view, I think it's going to be good for them as well. But Ryan, what do you think? Do you think totally different, or do you agree with us? Do you think it's going to be Huddersfield more beneficial going into this?
Yeah, I'm a bit like, because it is a cup competition. Like, cup competition just it's just a one-off game, isn't it? And I think sometimes you can be kind of shook by. Obviously, we go into it with momentum, whereas you obviously come off the back of a loss. I get that, but for me as well, though, we're obviously we've obviously deeper into the season for us as well, a few weeks ahead of you. So I don't think that's going to make a difference, but maybe it will, because obviously we're into more rhythm, whereas you've just started. Obviously, only 2 games in the league for you, but I don't know if that's going to make. But for me, I don't know if I believe in momentum in cup matches. I just think it's about what happens on the night. But yeah, I'm a bit in between. Yeah.
Bit in between, who's beneficial. Okay, interesting. Obviously, now we're going to go into team selection. I've set these questions up as well. So, Paul, do you think Sunderland will go in full strength, or will Regis Labrie rotate and give minutes to the younger lads, like Zach Johnson, for example?
To be honest, Brad, where are you getting these questions from?
I don't know, mate. I just made these up earlier. I don't know. Made these up earlier. I put them on into a script.
Well, to be honest, I would probably expect the team actually that's played, probably, I'd guess, the team that played in the last pre-season game at home. I've got a feeling it might be that team. It'd be like Patterson in goal. I think because Regis will want to see how. I know we didn't see much of the Chelsea lad. I think he might actually get a debut. I think he might start.
Yeah, I think as well. I think he'll play 2 up top on Tuesday. I think he'll play Guido, and I think he'll play Isidore as well. I think he'll play 2.
Yeah, I'll probably expect see how he does, but I think that the West Ham centre back I think he might start. I think he might start actually in this game. Do
you think Nordy will get some minutes as well? Nordy Mukele from PSG? Do you think he'll get some minutes?
Yeah, I think he goes right back.
He goes right back. Yeah, obviously Hume will be on the bench, resting him for Saturday against Brentford. So yeah, I'm glad we've got competition all over the field now, like strength and depth in the squad. Not like what we had last season where we used to have to struggle trying to find players to fit in right positions. We've managed this summer with a recruitment team now who we've brought in to obviously make this like better for us. Obviously, Florent Gasolfi as well, big massive help to him as well. I think he's done a great job in the summer. I think Paul will probably agree with that, dear Paul.
Yeah, I'm actually impressed with the work Florent Gasolfi's done so far.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, Ryan, Lee Grant's been consistent with his starting 11 so far, but do you think he'll protect players and shuffle the pack?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at what he did in the first round in this competition, he rotated heavily in that game against Leicester. He made 10 changes in that game. So for me, I don't really think he's going to do anything different. I think he's going to do the same again. That's how I see it. So, yeah, obviously there's going to be a lot of players that played well in that game as well, starting. And, yeah, so I think we're going to see a new goalkeeper. I think Nichols is going to be in goal. Obviously, we play the 4-2-3-1, so obviously I can see a back four of Sean Rowan, Josh Feeney. In fact, Josh Feeney is the only player that I've kept in the side from Saturday's game, that 1-0 victory against Stevenage. Watmore partnering him, and then obviously Gooch on the right. And then the two holding midfielders of Dan Vost, who was one of our youngsters who came in the Leicester game. He started the game, he was very, very good. So for me, I put my trust in him. Kasumu partnering him. He's not had much game time this season. He's been very much a big part player compared to last season. So I expect him to play. On the left, we've got, I think Cameron Ashier will start, one of our young academy talents. Very, very talented. And he's certainly one to look out for. I don't know if you saw his goal against Leicester, but what a beauty that goal was. But he's a super talent. We've got high expectations around him for him. And he's really pushed himself into that first team this season. You know what I mean? He was on the fringes of it a bit last season, but now this season, he's well amongst the first team now. And at only 18 years of age, he plays well his years. So, yeah, what a player. On the right, I believe that Dion Charles is not his natural position. Obviously, he's a striker, Dion Charles. But because we haven't got much depth in that area, ultimately on the wing, I don't think he'll start Harness, who obviously we got from Ipswich. I don't think he'll start because he's almost coming back from injury as well. So I think he'll be back on the bench. Castledine, the 10, who we got from Chelsea on loan. Very, very talented player. Yeah, I've liked bits of what he's done, but obviously he's still finding his feet with us. But yeah, no, really, really good, really bright when he came on against Leicester as well in the Cup, and he's had a few minutes in the league as well. And then Joe Taylor, I think he'll start with Joe Taylor rather than Alfie May, in my opinion. Just because Alfie May is our so-called main striker now, and he's played more minutes than Taylor. So I think Taylor will get a run out. And if we need May, he'll be there for us. So that's the team I expect to play tomorrow.
Yeah. Paul, if both teams rotate, what club do you think has a stronger bench and depth to cope?
Brad, these questions. To be honest, I don't know really, because you know you never know who Regis is going to put on the bench.
You don't. You never know who Regis is going to put on the bench. You could put young lads on the bench. You could go Judson Jones. You're going to go on the bench. You could have Triog and Sonny. He could go on the bench. You don't know what's going to happen. You really don't. Obviously, Ian Paveda, he's been a shocker as well for us lately. But obviously, he doesn't want anything in his first team plan. So fair dues. Fair enough. Same again, Ryan. If both teams rotate, what club do you think has the stronger bench and depth to cope?
It is a tough question, I agree, by the way. But just because you're the Premier League side, maybe I would edge you a little bit because obviously you've got more resources there. But I still think we've got a very we've obviously put a lot of money into the side this summer, and we have got a very, very good, talented group as well. So it's hard because we will have some very good key players on that bench that start regularly in the league for us, like your Alfie Mays. You know what I mean? And I do. It's so hard. I think it's very, very tight, isn't it? I'd probably just say that it's pretty much level. Maybe you just got that edge, a bit more quality. I don't know.
Okay. Now we're going to talk about key battles on the pitch. So, Paul, where do you see Sunderland needing to improve most from Saturday to get through this one?
Most improved.
So maybe a bit easier.
I would say probably most improved. To be honest, I'm going to say at the back because say like the West Ham lad, say like he does well tomorrow, and say like Ballard's out for a while. We just might look at this West Ham lad and be like, oh, he's doing well in the cup. Let's start him against Brentford.
Yeah. Well, you see, you could do that. Who knows? Like I say, in football, who knows? Ryan, if you were Lee Grant, where would you target Sunderland? Midfield, out wide, or set pieces?
Well, like I said, I think for me, I think we just need to. We can't rely on set pieces, but obviously we can use that as a good tool to try and get catch off guard a little bit. But I think down the wing could potentially be a key factor with the players we've got out wide, and also in I think down the centre of it as well. I think ultimately if we get at your defence, then and put you under pressure and see what you're about at the back, and test, what I mean, and I believe definitely on the wings is key for us, but we're good with set pieces as well. We've shown that this season a little bit, so we could maybe use that, and but a little bit of both, I think.
Alfie Maypole as well versus Sunderland's backline. Are you worried about his sharpness?
Yes, but the thing is, Brad, for what Ryan said about set pieces, shall we message our set piece coach? So we've got one now. just to keep an eye out.
Just to keep an eye out. Yeah. Oh dear. Let's have a look. Ryan, do you think May can hurt Sunderland like he did with Stevenage if he came on in the second half?
I think I'm not just saying, but I think Alfie May can hurt any opponent when he's on his best form. And look, like I said, the thing is with May, as I said, I think May's a very intelligent footballer. His movement is superb. His movement, and also he's just he can draw fouls as well. And if he gets a chance, he's scoring it. That is the reality. He's that good. He's clinical. He's a clinical goal scorer. So, I do. I think he can come on and cause some trouble, and maybe score as well. So,
Also on the flip side as well, Sunderland's wide players, Ryan. Do you see Huddersfield's defence coping with that pace?
Well, obviously we've obviously got a lot more pace at the back than we did last season. So I feel more confident going to this one than I would have done maybe last season. We would have faced it last season. Obviously, for me, if you just go with the likes of Rowan, I think Rowan's very quick on the left hand side. I also think Gooch is he's faster than I thought he was. Gooch, you know what I mean? I thought he is very.
Gooch is quick.
So I think for me, yes, okay, you've got a lot of pace down that wing, and I appreciate what you're saying. And maybe you may just tap the edge there, but I think we've got an experience there with Gooch on one side, on the right, and obviously Rowan, and both quick players. I think they can give them a good match on those wings, even though you have got a lot of pace there.
So the thing is, Brad, I'm worried because if they start Gooch, Gooch actually knows a lot of our players, like so Patterson and that. So yeah, Gooch knows exactly how to get past Patterson and that. So I am a bit worried.
I am a bit worried as well about that. To be honest, I really am. Yeah. Anyways, let's talk about managers and tactics now. Paul, are you seeing enough from Reggie Slippery tactically, or is this game a chance for him to prove that he can adapt?
To be honest, this game in particular, I don't think Regis will do much. To be honest, I think he, this game, I think, well, Regis will be there, but I think it'll be his assistants more. The likes of Proctor and that. I think they'll probably take control. Fair enough, Regis will be there, but Regis will probably looking at the squad against Brentford.
Yeah. Ryan, Lee Grant seems to have given Huddersfield a real resilience. How do you think he'll set away at Sunderland? Like, what formation do you think he'll play? I know you said a 4-2-3-1 before, but do you think he'll play that role still? Do you think he'll play that formation?
No, he likes that formation because he's played that formation in all the games so far. So yeah, he's very much set in how he likes his formation to look. Really, really happy with Lee Grant personally. You know what I mean? He's come in, done very, very well in the recruitment, had full control of the recruitment, the players he's brought in, and as a fan base, we've gained confidence from the players that we've seen come through the door. And then, his style of play, I think for me, he's very much a manager that does like to play attacking, but also, first and foremost, he likes to make sure that we're organised at the back. We're not easy to get behind it, and we're, you know what I mean? So I think he's in that mindset of, he likes to go forward and play that attacking style, but let's just not go silly, kind of just stay solid at the back first and foremost, and then go forward go forward with this one-touch football that we've seen this season so far. Very, very good. So, that's my thoughts.
Paul, do you think this is going to be a tight, cagey game, or do you think we'll see a cup tie with a lot of goals in it?
Probably a tight game, I would say. It will be probably will be a couple of goals, but I think it'll be a tight game.
Ryan?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's going to be a tight game. And I think it's, as I said, I don't know if I said it on air or off air, but I said that I feel like it's going to be a really good cup tie for the neutral to watch. You know what I mean? I think it will be very much end-to-end kind of game. Yeah. That's how I see it. And both sides will have good spells in the game. It's about who can stay strong in those moments when they may be under pressure a little bit. But I see it as a really, really good battle between the two sides. I do. That's my feeling. So it's going to be tight.
Paul, obviously Sunderland again under the lights in a cup tie. Obviously you're going to be there and I'm going to be there tomorrow night. How much difference can the crowd make to this?
To be honest, I think the crowd will I think they'll be a massive help to the players. Fair enough, we haven't opened many stands for our fans, but the fans that's there, they'll help the support. They'll help the players.
Ryan, Huddersfield away fans. Well, how important Sorry, I'll repeat that question again because I went a bit off guard there. Anyways, Ryan, Huddersfield away fans. Well, how important will that away support be for your lads on Tuesday?
Yeah, no, for me, look, we've got. I'm not just saying, but we go all over, and we're very well supported, and we do make a difference, and we've seen it already this season. I think, look, I'm not sure how many's going up tomorrow because obviously, like I say, it is a midweek game and all that, and not everybody can make it, but I think there'll still be quite a lot there for us, and yes, we will certainly be there, and obviously make a lot of noise. So. Yeah, I think always when you're the away side, I think your away fans have a big part to play, just as much as they do at home. You know what I mean? Because we know
that
it is going to be tough going to the Stadium of Light, and regardless of if it's not going to be as full as what it will be in a league match, for example, but it's still going to be tough to go there. You know what I mean? And we're under no illusions about that. So yeah, I think the fact we've got great fans. Well, obviously, I'm going to say that, but I feel we've got some noisy, loud fans, and yes, we will. You'll hear us. You'll hear us in that stadium tomorrow night, indeed.
Anyways, let's get on to the last bit. What we need to talk about: predictions and stakes. If this goes to penalties, who's backing their team to hold their nerve? Paul, what do you think? If it goes to pens, who you backing to the nerve to hold it?
I don't know, Brad, because we at the minute we haven't had a penalty this season.
No, we haven't.
And no, I don't know.
You don't know that question? You don't know that one? Ryan, what about you? If this goes to penalties, who's backing their team to hold their nerve?
For me, if it goes to penalties, I back us, because only reason is we have had a few penalties this season. We've converted them all, and also in the Leicester, I'm sure you know, but in the Leicester game as well, we won on penalties then as well, and we held.
Yeah, I've seen that. I was actually
we held
impressed
our
with your
nerve,
penalties.
and there was some good penalties in there. I know, I think we missed one. We missed one out. I think we missed one out of the 5, but we scored all the rest. So yeah, for me, we've got a good record on penalties, and I think it's a lottery at the end of the day, isn't it? Penalties, you know what I mean? It can happen either way, and also we've got a keeper in Lee Nichols who seems to do very well in penalty shootouts as well. I mean, in goal, really does do his homework, and always seems to produce a few saves, like he did in the first round for us. Yeah.
Yeah. Paul, obviously we're going to go into score predictions now, but what's your honest prediction for tomorrow night?
Honest prediction, I'm going to say 2-1 Sunderland.
2-1 Sunderland. Goal scorers?
God, we don't even know the team, Brad, but
if obviously this team, what do you reckon?
Probably Isidore, and I'm going to say the young Chelsea lad. Gay Sunderland goal.
Mark you. Yeah. Same question to you, Ryan. What's your honest prediction? Can Huddersfield pull off a cup upset at the Stadium of Light, do you reckon?
Well, for me, I already did my prediction early on on my own channel, and for me, I actually do see this game going to penalties. I do. I'm going for a 2-2 draw, 2-2, and yeah, I see it going to penalties. I just have a feeling again. I have a feeling that we will be able to just about get to penalties, and that's how it'll work, and we'll win on penalties. That's how I see it.
My score prediction, I might as well add one in as well. I'm going to say a clean sheet from that 2-0 defeat at Burnley. I'm going to go 2-0 Sunderland on tomorrow night. I'm going to go goal scorers. Mark Gio, I think he'll get his first goal, as well. I do agree with Paul there. I think he'll get his first goal in a red and white shirt. And also, I think, you know what, I'll say Patrick Roberts will get one. I think Roberts will get one in this game. I really do. I see this happening, really. I really see this. Bigger picture as well before we do go off. Which side do you think actually needs to win this more? Paul?
Well, from what our assistant said today, he actually reckons that we will go through. Because from what it sounds like, he actually does. Rachels must have told him that Sunderland actually wants a cup run. So maybe it's this cup or the FA Cup, I don't know. But from what it sounds like, I think Regis actually wants a cup run.
Ryan, in the bigger picture, what side do you think will actually win this more? Needs to win this more, sorry.
I think both sides need to win it more. And the reason I say that is because I just think for us, we want to keep momentum going, of course, and you guys obviously want to bounce back after the weekend. So we both need the win, really. That's what makes it intriguing and exciting, because both sides are going to be going into this game and they'll be looking to win the game. So they won't. I just think, yeah. So, and obviously there needs to be a winner on the night, but I just think both sides will be positive. Obviously, you being the home side, of course, you need to be positive. But for us, I see you as being positive as well. So, yeah.
Obviously as well, yeah, and that just about wraps us up for this week's Sportscast North East Sports podcast.
What about you, Brad?
As we've looked, what about me? Yeah, that's a good question before I go. To be honest, who wants to win this? Who do I think who wants to win this more? I'm going to say tough question, like I've just said for myself. I'm going to go both teams as well. I think both teams will obviously. Don't know. It seems to me, I think both teams. I think will actually need to win this. I really do. That's what I thought. That's what I think. That's what I think. Anyways, like I've just said before, that just about wraps us up on this Sportscast North East Sports. We've looked back at Huddersfield's solid win over Stevenage. Obviously, Sunderland's tough afternoon at Turf Moor at Burnley. And of course, we've given you the full preview ahead of Tuesday night's Carabao Cup clash at the Stadium of Light. Big thank you again to Ryan for coming on. I do appreciate that, Ryan. Giving you time to come on here and talk about Huddersfield. I do appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem at all. It's been good to be on. And yes, apart from tomorrow night, I hope you guys stay up in the Premier League, to be fair, and wish the best of luck for the rest of the season after our game tomorrow, of course. But yeah, it's been good to talk to you both, and really enjoyed it. So big up, yeah.
Aye, like I've always said, it's always great to hear from the other side as well, like the other opposition side. And of course to Paul as well, our resident Sunderland fan, for another honest take. Thanks for that one again, Paul. As always.
Anytime, Brad, and good luck for the rest of the season, Ryan. After tomorrow.
Yeah, go. Thanks. Yeah, appreciate that.
Anyways, we'll be back midweek with a reaction for the cup tie, and we'll look ahead of the weekend's fixtures against Burnley. But don't forget, if you enjoyed the episode, hit that follow button and leave us a review. It really helps us grow the show. But from me, from Paul and Ryan, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time on Sportscast.